Hey there, everyone. How are you this Tuesday? Oh my goodness, I am very excited. Today we're going to talk about, I'm going to jump right in because we're talking about parasite invasion in your body. Your body, my body, everybody's body may have some degree of parasites. So we have a couple of plants here, and we're going to make a tea, and that tea is not as bad as we might think it is. I want to get some gloves and move my hair out the way because I don't want hair fibers in my herbs. So we have some gloves, and also I was looking for a hairnet. Now, get some gloves. I am running out of gloves. So what in the world? We're going to work with a couple of plants today. Wormwood, black walnut hull. We're going to make a tea that is a parasitic cleanse. Now you all know I do the teas, and you can look for the teas on my, this glove is actually ripped already. Isn't that something? Let me get the other glove. And we're going to get some music, and we are going to talk about, hello, how are you today? We're going to be talking about a parasitic cleanse because a lot of people have a parasite invasion in their bodies, okay? Now, there's so many different types of parasites. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, Yanni, for liking the live. Okay, where can parasites live? If you look at the screen picture up there, parasites can live in your brain, they can live in your eyes, they can live in your lymph nodes, they can live in your lungs, they could live in your liver. My cat just scared the crap out of me. She's so chubby that sometimes she's a fat cat. And sometimes she tries to jump on something and she falls. Parasites can also go in your blood, in your joints. That's where you get the arthritis, and they can go in your skin. So parasites are a real thing for humans. I need another glove. Good morning, Gina. And let's see. Good morning, Yanni. You're beautiful too. Life's on life. Life on life. Good morning. If I don't catch a name, it's because of the background colors. Sometimes the white gets blurred away. But let me get another glove. And we're going to make a nice, rich, dark tea. And it is actually good. So I made this tea. And I don't know if you guys have heard on any of these platforms that when you take a parasite cleanse, or even prior to, sometimes you might have a little itching in your booty area. If you have some itching somewhere in your booty area, it's a possibility, a large possibility, that you do have parasites. Now remember, this is for educational purposes only. I am not a doctor, I'm an herbalist, so this is for educational purposes. I do sell products in my TikTok shop, but for today, we're going to make a beautiful little cup of tea. So let's get started, all right? Now, this tea is very strong, but if you start it off, I'm going to start it off with some peppermint to give it some flavor, okay? So this is 1 teaspoon. So I'm going to use 2 of these. Actually, I think I'll take this tablespoon and put some peppermint. That's just peppermint. That's for the flavor. That's so it doesn't knock you off your boots. And if you were here yesterday, you know that I made the turmeric shots, and here's mine. So I'm going to drink this really quick. Turmeric shots. Another good thing. Gets your alkaline imbalance and all kinds of anti-inflammatory and things like that. Let me get some hot water. So we're going to use some wormwood. Wormwood, excellent. You can use this alone. Excellent for eliminating parasites. Now, you know, it's always recommended not to give these herbs to anyone pregnant, breastfeeding, anyone, unless you talk to your doctor first and you say to your doctor, hey, I'm actually thinking about doing a cleansing and I heard about this or that. Good morning, Carolyn. And so your doctor, most of these doctors have been conditioned against natural healings. So don't be surprised if your doctor says, that doesn't really work. Because even WebMD might be in line with Big Pharma because they want to sell you pills. They want to keep you with Band-Aids instead of actually addressing the real problem. So I'm going to use half a teaspoon of the wormwood. And this is what it looks like. I showed some of you yesterday. So it's very strong. Good morning, Victoria. And red hot pepper. Okay. So I'm doing 1/4 of the wormwood. So I have some peppermint. It's only going to be 3 ingredients today. Now my blends have more ingredients than this, but we're going to keep it simple. And we're going to take some black walnut hull, and I think I'm going to do another 1/4 of a teaspoon. The reason why I put a spoon, a complete tablespoon, thank you for liking the live. Thank you very much. So this is black walnut. Let me see if I can bring it to the screen without dropping it everywhere because I got the craziest hands. So that's black walnut hull, okay? Now, that's actually walnuts, all right? So we're going to just do a 3-part simple remedy if you have parasites. So you don't have to always have 100,000 different herbs in a blend. It could be just as simple and just as effective without a lot of things in it. So we have our little strainer here. Now I'm going to get some water and you're going to see how dark. This one is a very dark one. Because of the walnut hull, it looks like coffee. So we're going to pour some hot water into here, and you can see it turning like dark like coffee. Let me just fill it up. You see the color already? It looks like coffee. It doesn't have any specific fragrance or anything like that. Kind of a little nutty, just a little slight nut fragrance to it. Not much, but this is it. Very dark, okay? Don't let that scare you. So we're going to let that sit here for a few minutes while I go over some of what these things do, okay? Let's just talk about the wormwood for a second, and then we're going to talk about the black walnut hull, okay? So now, as I was saying, parasites live throughout your entire body. including in your eyes. Have you ever felt your eyes get itchy? Like sometimes your eyes get really itchy, you don't see any little fibers. Those could be parasites. And the eye parasite is called an ocular larva. Migrans in your eye. An ocular larva. So you can actually have larva in your eyes, around the eye socket. You'll see it on the side, and that is larva. Okay? So, in specifically this one, wormwood, the official botanical name is called Artemisia absinthium. Artemisia absinthium. And it contains a lot of ingredients. Some of those active ingredients and properties improve digestion, they ease pain, inflammation, and they treat bacterial and fungal infections. This is the wormwood specifically, guys, okay? However, as you know, scientists and big pharma wants to say more study is needed. But sometimes things have been around so long, so many years, that you don't actually start to believe that more information is needed, more research is needed. Because we've already known, and it's already been scientifically proven to eliminate a host of parasites. First, let me give you what the benefits are, and then I'm going to tell you which worms, which parasites that it will clean, okay? So the health benefits alone supports your liver and your gallbladder functions, right? Then it regulates your blood circulation. Then it's a good source of antioxidants. Most plants have antioxidants anyway. It helps ease healing of skin wounds. If you have skin wounds, you can put it on your skin. It helps stomach, and it regulates your digestion. So if you're having little stomach problems, digestion, your food is not breaking up in a reasonable amount of time, should be 6 hours, but it'll help digest your food, okay? We're letting this sit here for at least 7 minutes, and by the time I go over this list of 10 items, we'll pour this and we'll get some honey, and we're going to taste it. It's definitely good for intestinal spasms. And that is because it is a gut system herb, okay? It increases, guess what? It increases your sexual desire, okay? Hi, Fur Baby Mommy. And hi, Burner Boy. So it increases your sexual desire. It has anaphylaxis properties. It's good for insomnia, helps you sleep, and it strengthens the immune system. Therefore, it provides protection against diseases, including cancer, okay? Now we're going to go over to which worms, which parasites. The wormwood alone, because remember, you could have a parasite invasion if you have itching around your booty, you're feeling weird things moving under your skin surface. More than likely, those are parasites under your skin. Now, the Native Americans, we know Native Americans try all of the medicines, all of the herbs. They use everything out of nature. So they used it for actually, there's different species, and Native Americans used some of them. But the Artemisia they used, which is this one that we have here, to treat worms, sprains, colds, flu, tuberculosis, cancer, fever, asthma, gynecological disorders, rashes, and many other conditions. Some tribes also used it as a ceremonial medicine. And it also can be used as a repellent if you're using it in your garden, okay? So there's a lot of things. Now let's go on to which worms that it attacks. And this is kind of gross, but we need to know this so we know how to protect ourselves. We know exactly what to take in our pantry or what to get that we can use to help eliminate a parasitic invasion in our bodies. Now, it can treat gastrointestinal diseases. Listen to this. Let me say it again. It treats gastrointestinal diseases. Those diseases are more than likely caused by parasites such as pinworms, roundworms, tapeworms, and there's a worm that I can't even pronounce. It's called Schistosomonas. S-C-H, let me write it down. Schistosoma. Schistosoma. S-C-H-I-S-O-M-A. Schistosoma. That is another tapeworm, and these are things you have to be concerned of, okay? Now, it has long been associated with powerful women and has a rich history and uses of magic. We're not going to go down that road because we're talking about plants and how we can get rid of parasites. So now I'm going to show you let's get 3 samples. We're going to get some wormwood and put in here. So this is a 3-herb remedy. Now, my other remedy that I prepare has a few more things in it, but we're going to do just a simple blend for today so you can see what these things look like. Okay? So this is the black walnut hull. It looks like charcoal with bits and pieces. Okay? That's black walnut hull. This is the wormwood here. And of course, peppermint for flavor, because the peppermint really tones down that wormwood, which is very bitter. You will feel it in the back of your throat. This is not something that you take more than 7 days. The wormwood itself has, let's see, it has a thijone, Thujone, thujone. That's a neurotoxin, so these are not meant to be taken every day, endless days. This is a regimen that you just take for 7 days. You take a break, and then you could do another 7 days. But it's short-term use only. And that's the same thing for the black walnut hull, because that also has tannins in it, and you're not supposed to consume tannins long-term, okay? So let's pour ourselves some, let's see if you can see it. So it's coming out black. It looks just like coffee. It looks like a cup of black roasted coffee. See? That's what it is. And so that is that. And now we're going to put some honey. I'm going to close up these herbal jars. And if you need some of this, you can let me know. Each package of, small package is $6.50 of these herbal teas, okay? All my herbal teas are the same price, no matter what's in the bag. There's no differentiation in price. I'm going to squirt a little bit of honey in mine. So it does make you go to the bathroom. Now you will go to the bathroom. It's warming and it is a bitter. So you're going to taste the bitterness in the back of your throat. It'll be there for about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. And I'm just going to put some honey because I love honey. Any excuse to use honey. Honey is a remedy itself. Honey is a cure-all. If you had to pick anything, honey is one of those that you would definitely want to make sure you have in your medicine pantry. So I'm going to take a sip of this. It's still very hot, but it's delicious. Like I said, you're going to taste the wormwood. It's a bitter. The whole point of having a bitter is to develop a nice gut system, and that helps clean out any kind of parasites. It's a bitter herb, and the ingredients in absinthe has a long history of traditional medicine, okay? It can stimulate your appetite. It can aid in digestion, also for weight loss. So we're going to list a few things that it does. Now let me just go over the black walnut hull for a brief second. It has phenolic acids, tannins, flavonoids, compounds that contain anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antifungal, antibacterial properties, which could make black walnut hull useful for a range of health conditions, not just one. It's used for quite a few. That's the black walnut, okay? That's this one. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antibacterial, flavonoids. That's this, the black walnut hull. So that's something that you want to have a cup of tea with anyway. And I will show you, as I always do, the small bags that you will get. Here are my tea bags. So these are the little tea bags. You'll get one of these for $6.50, and that is the blend, the tea blend. I do tea blends, and I do dried herbs as well. Not so many dried herbs, but I definitely will make sure that you have some teas. The reason why I don't do dried herbs is because sometimes my plants are tortured by the Texas sun. And so therefore, it's too unpredictable to send dry plants on their own. I might have the peppermint, and all my wormwood may have been dried out from the sun. So it's too unpredictable, so I'd rather make sure that I have the blends, and you're welcome to buy the blends. Like I said, they're all $6.50. Very popular item when I have my shop over here in Texas. This was the first thing off the shelves. The tea bags. I was always replenishing the tea bags and the herbal bath salts, because those work together. If you do the bath with the herbs and then you do the tea, or vice versa, your body is literally ready to fight whatever is about to attack it, okay? So now black walnut cannot be used every day. The same thing like this. It can cause stomach upset, liver or kidney or both damage. So you cannot use these items on a continuous basis. They have to be used in short periods of times. Then you take another break and then you can use it again. Not more than 14 days in a month. 7 days on, 7 days off, 7 days on. Okay? Good afternoon. Is it Toya and, excuse me, S. and Moray, Mikey, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm in the kitchen today because it's like 1,000 degrees outside. But if you see the other video that I just posted, I did grow some sweet potatoes. So now that we're talking about the black walnut specifically, it helps reduce inflammation, promotes normal digestive function, and one study where 43 grams of walnuts were eaten per day had more probiotics and other good bacteria, gut bacteria, the flora, the good bacteria that fights off everything else. Because when you get inflammation and your white blood cells start really becoming warriors, they're trying to fight off something. When you have a fever, then you know for sure you have a problem and your body is trying to fight it. So you want to make sure you keep antioxidants in your body, you keep good gut bacteria in your system, because everything starts from the gut. And if it doesn't start from the gut, it'll start from your lymph nodes, from all of these around here, these glands. Or it'll start in your mouth because of poor hygiene. Dental hygiene can cause serious illness, including death. So you want to make sure that you brush your teeth, floss, do all the things you're supposed to do to keep your body healthy. All right? So now we just want to talk about the good bacteria, which everybody needs, okay? You need good bacteria. Okay, for your gut. If you don't have good bacteria, that's where you start developing cancer, ulcers, all of these different conditions, arthritis. Do you know that if you get rid of some of the inflammation, get rid of some of the parasites, you will start feeling your joints not so stiff, like they're rusty, because you can get rusty, all right? Calcium buildup in your joints causes arthritis. Then you get the inflammation around the fingers, around the joints, then you get the pain. So instead of just taking ibuprofen or whatever and treating the pain, you want to go back to the actual cause of the problem, okay? Give me 1 second. Just want to make sure that the cats don't get burned on the stove or anywhere. So that is what we are talking about, is the wormwood. Let's get rid of some parasites. Let's talk about some of the parasites, what they do, because we have pinworms. Now, if one of you can look up pinworms, this is stuff that winds up in your system. And that's not even all of them. But let me erase this. we've got, one is pinworms. Two is tapeworms. And people think this is only for animals, but people do get parasites. People do get worms. The last one is roundworms. And like I said, these parasites, they are all over your body, okay? There's different parasites that invade different areas. Like, what kind of a worm would you have in your lung? Who would even think that a worm would go into someone's lungs? Let's take a look and see what's in the lungs. I'm gonna have to take my gloves off. And lungs, you get, wow, there's something called a Paragonimus westermani egg, the major species of lung fluke that infects humans, causing Paragonimus. That is in your lungs. Can you imagine having parasites in your lungs? What is in your liver? Liver flukes. They can cause bile duct disease. Would you want a bile duct disease? This is how people get the colon cancer and all of those rectal cancers, because these parasites are eating away in these areas. And if you don't create a safe environment for your intestines and your organs, this is what happens. In your neck, in your lymph nodes, you get a nematode, and that is of the family Philoroidae. Wow, I could say it. Give me a second. Philoroididia, and that causes your lymphatic system to get off whack. So do you want that? And like I said, the one in the eyes, ocular larva. Can you imagine larva living in the white part of your eyes? Larva. Okay, it's making me itchy just thinking about it. These things are really gross. What grows in your blood? Yes, you can have parasites in your bloodstream. This one is called a Brugia malayi. Brugia malayi in your blood. Your joints, Giardia infection that leads to arthritis. Like I just said, these are parasites that accumulate in your joints. Why do they accumulate in your joints? Because there's not a lot of blood flow, because you have the cartilage, you have the gristle, and the joint doesn't get a lot of blood. The blood, you want the blood to flow to each and every area. And that's what these teas are doing. These various different teas keep the warmth in, keeps your body moving, keeps it circulating, keeps everything going, and it chases away the bitters, specifically any kind of bitter tea, dandelion, burdock, this one, the wormwood. The black hole is not so much, to me at least. I don't taste it as a bitter. But burdock for sure, dandelion for sure. The bitters are the ones that chase away the parasites. The sugar attracts them, and the bitters chase them away, because everybody runs from bitters, even a lemon. People make a face when you give a person a lemon. They make a face. Why do they make a face? Because your body is rejecting the medicine. It's literally helping you, but your body's first reaction is to go, ugh, because everybody's used to sweets, because worms want you to continue to feed them. So if you feed them the opposite of what they want, they're going to leave that environment and go somewhere else. They'll come out in your poop. And so you want them to come out in your poop, and you want them to come out of your body, so you don't wind up with the cancers and things like that. In your skin, the ones that you could feel something moving under your skin, that is called a cutaneous larva. And it usually starts somewhere around the foot area. But it's in the skin is just the same. So you can either battle like a warrior, make sure that these things are not eating you up from the inside out. You know, a lot of people don't want to be buried. They don't want to see the worms crawling on them. But that's really what it is. They're starting from the inside. They're not really just, maggots don't just show up in the soil. Flies come and all of those things, and they start to break down your body. But you can be standing here just like I am, and you can have parasites doing the same thing from the inside out. So you can try the teas, or you can try the extracts, or you can try the tinctures. Now the tea is the least, has the least strength. And most people start off their herbal journey with a tea because it's just something you sip, just like it's normal beverage. So you're going to sip it, but it's doing its work. It's going to all the body parts. Each one of these herbs know exactly where to go, like a machine. They go to this place, one goes to this place, and they do their job exactly where they need to be. Some herbs that are called adaptogens, let's say if you have high blood pressure, adaptogens, what they do is they balance out. They're there to balance the scale. So if something is too high or too low, adaptogens bring it to a balance. It balances the scale. So one is not more than the other. And so that's why there's various types of herbs that help you in different ways. But not everything is for everybody. Some things work. Some things work for somebody else better. Some things people have allergic reactions to. So you have to find, there's no one size fits all in herbal medicine. So you have to find what works for you. How do you do that? By trying different things until you find something that helps you with your condition, your arthritis. Like dandelion is excellent for arthritis, for the inflammation, for the pain. So you can use something like that for arthritis. Another person may not get a result from a dandelion, but they might get it from going to the actual problem. Let's say if you have a gut problem and that has started to cause inflammation somewhere else, accumulation of mucus or accumulation of pus or something on the surface, you have an open wound and it gets pus, there might be something that works better for you than for the next person. So the only way to find out what works in your journey as a person that wants to heal naturally is to try different plants, different flowers, different spices, different things. If you have arthritis in your hands, what you can do is take a bowl of warm water, very warm water. You can put some crushed mustard seeds in there and soak your hands in the mustard seeds and the warm water, and your pain will be alleviated in your fingers. If you have arthritis, osteoarthritis, all of those rhitises of the joints where your joints are getting stiff and painful, okay? But you want to eliminate stuff. You don't want to just take over-the-counter things as just Band-Aids. You want to get to the root of the actual problem. Am I eating sugar? Why am I having a lot of inflammation? Sugar causes inflammation. So if you eliminate the sugar and then you take the herbs or the teas, you will see relief right away. A lot of people have immediate relief, okay? So if you have any questions, I'm going to take a sip, and I think, I'm not sure if I am 12-1. So if you have any questions, put your questions in the comments, and if you want to ask something or you found something that works for you, feel free to put it in the comments. Don't be shy. So this tea will start cleansing your body within an hour. So you'll go to the bathroom a couple of times. Now there's still more here. So I can drink these 3 small cups, or I can finish this throughout the day, morning, afternoon, night, in 3 small servings. And I tell you, by tonight, by bedtime, even throughout the day, maybe within an hour, I will find myself in the bathroom. Now, if you're squeamish and you have, what is this thing, where hypochondria, where when you see something, then you think you got it. I get that sometimes. So for those people, if you have hypochondria and as soon as you hear something, you think you have it, don't look in the toilet, because if you seek, you will find. Make sure you just do the protocol. 7 days on, 3 to 4 days off, and then 7 days on again. Not more than 15 days. Not more than 15 days. You should not be taking wormwood or the black hole more than 15 days out of a month. It is not an everyday regimen. It is not. Make sure you remember that. Now, tomorrow we'll talk about, for the ladies, we're going to talk about herbs that help you with polycystic ovary syndrome. Polycystic ovary syndrome. So that's all the cramping, menopause, hot flashes, perimenopause, if you're just getting into menopause, the first stages. We'll talk about that tomorrow and try to help some women alleviate some of that pain, okay, because cysts are very painful. I know that they give you the severe cramps when your menstruation starts, during your menstruation, after your menstruation, menopause, when you're older, the estrogen, all of those things. We're going to try to go over tomorrow with a couple of plants. And like I said, these protocols, these herbs are available for you in the form of a tea at my shop, okay? You'll get the teas. It'll have the instructions on the back. And the prices are always the same, okay? It's $6.50 right here. All the teas cost the same price. I don't care if I put 10 herbs in it or 1 herb. It's the same price, $6.50 per bag. Now the weight is different depending on what's in the bag, okay? It could be, this one is for, it stimulates bowel production and purifies your blood. Flow Pure. If you need this, you can DM me and you can get it in the shopping cart. If you don't even want to talk to me, you can order it right from the TikTok shop, okay? This helps bowel movement and purifies your blood. So I have lots of teas. I don't want to go over all of them now because it's 1 o'clock and I have some other things that I have to tend to. And don't forget, if you're in the Texas area, up in Dallas area, Frisco, Plano area, I am doing a forage walk on Saturday, weather permitting, because sometimes it gets so bad out here that it's better to stay indoors, okay? Like today, I think right now the temperature is probably, I'm going to see what's the temperature here today. I know it's supposed to go up to 98. So if the temperature is not too high, let's see. It is, okay, it's not giving me the weather on this one. I have to look on that one for the weather. But let's see if it's here. Okay, so folks, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you learned something on this channel. I don't know everything. I speak very loosely. I don't claim to know it all. If you want to correct me about something, say it to yourself. But yeah, because you know, trolls will come on and they will find any little thing to harass people, and I'm not with that right now. Oh, here's the weather here. I don't know why my weather always directs me to a place called Cupertino, which I find strange. Let's see. I know we're supposed to be getting like 98 degrees today. So, have a terrific day. I will see you in the next video. I was going to play music. Like I said, I'm not really sure what's going on with TikTok and the music, but if I put music, if I don't get blocked here, usually on YouTube, it says I violated somebody's rights. So I don't put the music, but the vibes are always good. They're always relaxed. They're always a learning classroom atmosphere. I was a teacher before, art teacher, and a teacher for public schools, a volunteer teacher. So my style of learning is through teaching. And so when you come here, you will do a show and tell teaching environment. Okay? God bless you all. Have a great day.